You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, happy Monday. All right, so this is the first Monday we've been back in a while, right?
Yeah, it's been forever, man.
It feels like it, doesn't it? All right, so John, unfortunately, is sick today. He woke up this morning not feeling well. So whether or not he'll be back on Wednesday, it will be determined by the COVID test his wife is bringing home to him. So if he tests negative, then more than likely he'll be back Wednesday. But if he tests positive, obviously we probably won't see him until next week. Hey, John, if you're watching, hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. It'd be terrible if he got hit by it twice, like in a row, back to back. That'd be terrible.
You know what? I got to think. We were texting back and forth. He said that his doctor said it might be this flu thing going around, and I know my daughter caught the flu thing. So, what was it? About a week and a half ago, and knocked her out. But it's like a 24, 36 hour sort of thing, supposedly. So I think it's this close together. Either he never got any better, or I'm thinking maybe it's the flu this time around. But John Spilios, Lars, man, Tom Bishop, what's going on, guys? So yeah, I know, right, Jay? He's got to get better so he can go on his next vacation. It's got to be coming up soon. It's been weeks.
He hasn't had a vacation in 2023 yet, right?
That's true. That's very true. I know he's behind. CJ says his has been going on since the 26th. Wow.
Yeah, start feeling better.
Oh man, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. I know it's that time of year. I know a lot of people are getting sick, kids, back to school, and everybody's indoors now that the weather's changed. So there's definitely something going around. So hopefully, ME Comics, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, it is. I know, right? But touching on what Robbie and I discussed on his show Friday. So I just read something else that said that James Gunn has denied that Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman are out.
Yes,
right.
But he didn't say that. He didn't say that she was in. He just said that she's not out, whatever that means.
Which kind of right? Okay, yeah. Kind of 6 of one, half dozen of another. But obviously, I think the Wonder Woman 3 is definitely shelved for the time being. So easy go lucky. You're in California. My God, that's right. You guys are getting buried. I heard there's another, what do they call it? Atmospheric river coming through. So thoughts out. But man, this is a monster all the way from like Southern California, from the LA region all the way up to Northern California into the Bay Area and beyond. Now, granted, I know that California's been, dealing with multiple years of drought, but seriously, I'm sure they weren't hoping to get over the drought all in like a couple of weeks. Marcus, I read that too, right? She supposedly is going to have a cameo on Shazam 2. But I haven't found anywhere looking online where that's really confirmed. The only thing I confirm is James Gunn, as Robbie said it. He didn't say she was in, but he said she wasn't out, which is sort of the same thing, isn't it? But irrelevant to the fact, obviously.
I think they just don't want to announce it yet until all of her appearances are officially done. That's what I think.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a cynical way of looking at it.
That's why James Gunn won't just come out and be like, no, Ezra Miller's not going to be my Flash, because they're not going to say anything until the movie comes out. And then he'll be like, no, he's not the Flash.
A Triple B. What's the hate on Robbie, buddy?
That's harsh, but okay. Fair enough.
Could it be something football related? Nah. The Cowboys looked horrible.
We sure did. Oh my goodness, man. That was terrible.
Bad.
That was terrible.
Not that the Eagles looked that much better, but I'll give Jalen Hurts in the shoulder some credit there. But,
hey, this has been the longest NFL season in history, right? It's got that extra week, so yeah,
Yeah, that's right. With the additional games, yeah, that's right. And then you had the whole Hamlin thing, obviously.
I am so good that he's back. He's been released from the hospital, so that's super cool, man.
Yeah, he's on the way back to Buffalo. Is what I read as well. So congrats to him and his family. It's amazing how quickly he's been recovering, considering he had a heart attack right there in the middle of the field. Let's see. Triple B says Robbie gets a hell yeah, brother. How are you? God.
And don't worry, Studio. Next Monday, I'm still going to be doing my movie night. I'm still going to be streaming. So you ain't going to hear no smack talk from me about the Bucks Cowboys game next Monday. So
that's going to be interesting. I mean, with Tom Brady, you never know. Even Russell Wilson had a day. Who thought that one was coming?
I know, right?
It was an interesting weekend of football, wasn't it? All of a sudden, he looked like Russell Wilson. I was like, whoa, where's that been? You've been holding out all season. You wait until the last final game.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, yeah, that was interesting to watch. The Eagles obviously look very lackluster. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is still nursing the shoulder injury, so that's a concern. But now with the number one seed, hopefully the extra week will give him time to rest. But interesting how it kind of fell out. I got to tell you that what I was kind of really following over the weekend was the Jags. Obviously, Doug Peterson fan felt like that was not a great move. Not that I have a problem with Sirianni, but it just didn't make much sense to me. It was a head scratcher. But love to see that Doug Peterson has turned that team around. Trevor Lawrence has a shot at being what everybody thought he would be. That's pretty awesome.
The best drama through the whole day yesterday was the Seahawks winning, but then they needed the Lions, who had just got eliminated because the Seahawks won. They needed the Lions to beat the Packers, and they could have tanked it easily. And that was cool to see the way that all turned out.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see. I didn't think the Lions were going to be able to do it, but they certainly pulled it out. Had their first winning season since 2017, I think it was. CJ, I got to admit, the Niners look tough. That defense is pretty smothering. So I got to say that the Niners are probably going to be one of the biggest problems that the Eagles will have to face, certainly, if they get along that far. But yeah, it was interesting. And did you watch that Kansas City game?
No, I did not. I didn't see that.
Did you see that little merry-go-round play?
Yes, I did. I saw that later on.
That was like, I guess when you have somebody like Patrick Mahomes, you can just do whatever the heck you want, man.
It's the last game of the year on the regular season. You already have cemented your spot. You don't need to show out, You're just trying.
I know, but I'm just watching that going, what are they doing, man?
They're just trying out some of them trick plays. I just think all the momentum right now is with the Bills, because the way they came back after everything that happened on Monday, the way they came back, 2 kickoff returns, like
to start the game off. And then did you hear what Josh Allen said? I did not realize it. It was 33 months and 3 days or something like that. It was all threes.
Oh wow!
Since the last time that had happened, or something like that, or 33 games. I remember what the stat was, but that was pretty interesting, I thought. And he got all kind of teary-eyed and stuff. So
it's going to be a good postseason, y'all. It's going to be a good postseason regardless.
It's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. I would never sell the Bucs short. with Tom Brady. I just wouldn't,
I wouldn't either. And the way they played, not this last game against Atlanta, but the game the week before, that like it was working, and the Cowboys are like, we're like on the decline. You know what I'm saying? It's like the worst. It's the worst time. It's the worst time to lose momentum. Is what? Yeah.
Well, the thing about Tom Brady, I think the key point about Tom Brady is you certainly know he has the experience. He certainly dealt with that kind of pressure. There's no doubt that his skills and obviously the talent surrounding him has been diminished this season. You just never know with him. And that's the danger. And I have to admit, I'm the most critical of Dallas Cowboys. I love making fun. But even I was really, really surprised. I don't know what's going on there,
Yeah, that was really and it was across the board. Like Turpin dropping the kickoff return or whatever, and just so many boneheaded moves. It was like, I hope they got all those mistakes out yesterday. But
I have to admit, not that I don't kind of as a Eagles fan enjoy watching this sort of happen, but I have to say it's a head scratcher. How does Dak Prescott go from, he didn't throw a lot of INTs in the past, throughout his career. Now, all of a sudden, you're tied for number, the most INTs thrown this season, and you miss 5 games. What the heck's going on?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's just that I have to admit doesn't make much sense.
Makes you wonder if he came back from that injury. You know what I'm saying? I know it was just the thumb, but I don't know. I have no idea. There's something there.
Very critical.
I think he's trying to force it too much, is what I think is happening.
Maybe, but I don't know. I have to admit it's a head scratcher for me. Even I was kind of surprised, like, what the heck's going on here? And it's not like CD Lamb's numbers have been down. They've been up. I mean, they're good. They're great. So what's
on paper, we look pretty good for the most part. And there have been times this year where they have looked amazing. Most of that was in the middle of the season, but that's the way the season goes, man. There's ebbs and flows.
But I'll tell you, the Zeke deal was not a good one. And if anything, I give Belichick this much credit. If you've noticed through the years on any of Belichick's teams, he would never spend money on a running back. If he needed to, he'd get somebody a little bit past the peak of their career, bring them on with a short, a 1 year or 2 year contract, and then just run them. But he always said he felt like that was a position you shouldn't spend, a lot of resources on, because the effective average career for NFL running backs about 3 seasons. Really.
Yeah, I get that. And it's easy to want to sign the newest phenom that's coming out of college. And that's what they did with Zeke from Ohio State. Right. And obviously there's a shorter career there, but at the same time, like, if you're running, it's not your running back that makes your running game super effective. It's that O-line too, so you gotta have all those pieces. I kind of agree with that. Star running backs, there are star running backs, but they not quite like receivers or quarterbacks for sure.
No. And I'll be the first one to say, I don't think Miles Sanders he had a great season, but a lot of that is attributable to the Eagles offensive line. You know what I'm saying? There are very few people like Barry Sanders, who create, because now that's somebody that was absolutely amazing, because he had a horrible offensive line, all through those years. But yeah, so it should be interesting. I'm excited about that. Wild card weekend should be quite interesting.
Yep, we'll see. Let's gear up for it, everybody.
Let's gear up, man. Let's gear up for that.
Football talk out of the way. We decided to get that out of the way quick, right?
Oh, well, we had to. We're reaching the postseason here. All right, so you know what? Let's start off with best offer items. We only have 2, so we might as well get those out there. All right, so we have Invincible Iron Man #1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Now, this is a wraparound cover, and we have finally figured out how to stitch those pictures together, so we don't have to have John approaching the camera and scaring small children. And the fact that he's not here anyway, because he'll be on vacation. So wraparound signed by Brian Michael Bendis. It is number 3 of only 63 signed, and we have one available. Suggested retail of $49.99. It's going to be a best offer item starting at $19.62.
Nice. I love about this cover? That perspective on the cityscape. That looks amazing. That's fantastic stuff.
All right. You got it, Lars, man. I got you, buddy. I agree. I for me, when I pick these books, man, it's very visual. And when I saw this, I was like, man, let me get those pictures and stitched together.
Yeah, it's that angle that's giving that dynamism, right? Like that's what's crazy about it. Is it's not the figure. The figure's showing very little movement. It's very static, but it's that background that makes it work. That's like Kirby-esque kind of perspective there. It's nice.
Agreed. Jay, so dynamic. Ha ha ha. Tom Bishop. All right. So next up, we've got Punchline, the Gotham game #1, CGC graded guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $99.99. It is a best offer book, and we have its best offer starting at $50.
DC's definitely trying to push Punchline over, and this is her first full-on miniseries. She's had a one-shot, but this is her first full-on miniseries. People are responding to it well. Good chance to go ahead and get it. 9.8 without having to wait.
And we just got these back, literally. All 3 CGCs we just got back from CGC, literally. So the guys were nice enough to, because they know I'm always looking for some, they were nice enough to pull it. You got it, Lars, man. I got you, buddy. Whenever we get new stuff from CGC, they pull one for me.
That's a nice cover, too, because of the black and white and the way they use the pink and the purple and everything and the composition. I like that.
Agreed. All right, I got you down, Lars, man. Thanks for opening us up on both of the best offers. So other than that, watching football and watching your Dallas Cowboys move in the wrong direction, how was your weekend, buddy?
I had a really great weekend. I had an absolutely fantastic weekend, just hanging out, relaxing. We brought back Dylan's Horror Show last night for 2023 season, and we talked about the Terrifier movies. That was a great conversation. I've recently got caught up on some movies. I finally watched, there was a movie that came out this last year called The Banshees of Inisherin with, I think it's Colin Farrell and is it John Gleason or something? Anyway, The Banshees of Inisherin was one of the best movies that I watched that came out last year. That movie was absolutely phenomenal, funny, dark, and very serious, and it has a point. It's really good.
Wait, is it about 2 brothers? There was another actor in it.
It's about 2 friends, right? It takes place on an island off the coast of Ireland, and it's during the Civil War in the 1920s. And they're 2 friends, and one of them just decides that he doesn't like the other one anymore and doesn't want to hang out. So it's this like metaphor for the Irish Civil War and showing the preposterous nature of it, but also how dark it gets. It's just such a good movie. It is so good.
I think I've seen trailers. They were interviewing Colin Farrell about it, I think, the other day. I was watching TV. The other actor, I don't remember his name, but I remember him from things
something
like
Gleason. It's because he's the same.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the same writer and director of this film, and both of those same actors are in Bruges, which I've never seen. But
I've never seen that. I remember the other guy, not Colin Farrell, being
Brendan Gleeson. That's what it is. Brendan Gleeson. Brendan
Gleeson. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those actors that you recognize him immediately. The one that comes to mind was Gangs of New York, probably because I just watched it again not too long ago. I like him. Yeah, I like him too, and I like Colin Farrell. So
yeah, I think you will. The movies were really good,
except for when he did Total Recall. That sucked.
Yeah, I still have never seen that. I dodged that bullet like Neo in the Matrix. I was like,
I tried I watched it twice. I tried so hard to like it, but nothing. There was just something unique about Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the whole way that it was made.
Yeah, it's a movie of its time for sure, right?
Yeah. Lars, what do you mean? Lars Man is spaghetti dude. I don't get that.
We had a crank caller on Kyle's show.
Oh, okay.
And he just called in talking about spaghetti. But Lars Man was actually our first caller on Kyle's Hot Take show. It was awesome.
Nice. Okay, I understand now. Okay. Gotcha.
I like that bit. You're just going to call into a live show and start talking about spaghetti. I like that bit. That's kind of a funny thing to do.
Maybe it was you, Robbie. How do we know?
It wasn't me. I wish I would have thought of that. Don't credit me though. I can't take credit where it's not due. I'm an award winner, but not for that. I'll tell you what.
Triple B, if you're talking about the Total Recall remake, seriously, bro, I couldn't stand it. And I like Colin Farrell. I mean, I couldn't stand it. I mean, it was just, I don't know. You inevitably make the comparison, and I kind of feel like they didn't travel to Mars either. That was the other thing.
No,
So,
I've
right.
never. I don't know what that means, but that's never happened.
Spaghetti guy, because that's not me, obviously.
I don't. Rex is asking me questions in the chat, but it's not this Rex, and I have no idea even what that means. But no, I've never done that.
That would be if all right, whoever's Rex, if your name is truly Rex, please let me know, because you will be only the fourth Rex I've ever met in my life. How crazy is that? I've only met 4 other Rexes. 3 of them were mutual friends. One was at a bar. I played in a long before my daughter was born, softball beer league. So after the game, we went to a local bar that we would go to after games, and we're sitting in the bar laughing, joking, whatever. I hear somebody scream out "Rex," right? And I look around, I don't see anybody I know outside of my group. And a guy walks up to me and he goes, "Is your name Rex?" And I'm like, I don't know this guy. I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Sorry, man, I don't mean to bother you guys." He says, "You're the only other Rex I've ever met." And so we just started chatting, dude. I think I bought him a beer. That was crazy.
Yeah, I had a friend back in middle school.
Make it 2. First, hit that thumbs up if you haven't yet.
Wow, there's a shocker. Didn't see that one coming. Is the Rex you?
No. So
are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
So here's the one thing I'll say. There was no remake to Point Break. That was some stuff.
Where'd you see Point Break?
Somebody's, when you were talking about the Total Recall remake, that wasn't a really good.
No, they're getting ready to make a Point Break remake.
They made that 2 years ago.
Yeah, they did.
That's what somebody said. They felt the same way. No, it was terrible.
Oh,
that's why I'm saying there is no remake to Point Break.
Okay. But that
was just a bunch of stuff they slapped together.
Yeah, I hate it when they use the same name and they just change the whole story.
Well, it's kind of like Independence Day. The sequel was really just a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have to agree with that. But
that's all the rage right now. Requels, right? Where it's like a sequel, but it's just a remake at the same time and a reboot. It's a weird thing.
Which I will say, Scream was great. The Scream recall was great.
All right.
Robbie said there is no Blade 3.
I will say that.
62 Lefty, what's up, bud?
I will say this. 62 Lefty, please hit that thumbs up. I will say this. Let's just say that I didn't go in with the highest of hopes on Scream, so I was happy enough with it.
I don't think it's terrible. And I liked it better on the second time I watched it. So I own it. I own the movie. So apparently I don't think it's too terrible. But yeah, I do the same thing. Like 62 said with Blade 3. There is no Blade 3. They only ever made 2 Blade movies. And how sad, because the third one could have been really cool.
It should have been really cool. It's kind of like the third Spider-Man. Should have been good, but it wasn't.
Has anybody seen Avatar yet? I have not.
No.
I want to.
I know a few people that have seen it that love it. Amy, did you see Avatar?
No.
Yeah,
Are you going to?
I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, that's not really her lane.
See, that's one of those ones though that
she would have already bought. She would have bought tickets a month before it opened.
That's one of those ones though that you do want to watch in theater, right? Because it's got the 3D and everything, and like nobody I know has really seen it, but it's like made $1.5 billion. Somebody's watching it. John apparently is watching.
Yeah, Jay says 1.7.
It's at 1.7 plus.
All right, so Marcus has seen it,
and another friend of mine saw it and he loved it.
Well, I love the first one, so I'm going to imagine I'm going to love this one.
I still have to watch the first one.
You better catch up, bro. Don't watch 2 without seeing 1. It's so worth it, though.
Should I watch? Let me ask you this question. Should I watch Avatar? Should I watch Alien or Aliens or any of those? Should I watch any of the Jawses? Which one should I start watching?
Alien.
Yeah. The only answer I have for you, Nick, is yes. And really,
Alien.
which one you start with doesn't really matter.
Although, did you guys ever see the email with
Jaws? What? 1976.
There was an interview with Michael Caine, and they asked him. They asked him, "Do you watch the Jaws movie you were in, and how terrible it was?" And he said, "No, I've never seen the movie, but I see the house that it bought all the time, which I thought was great.
Well, Thomas Bishop says he has no interest in Avatar 2. Early James Cameron is great today.
Let's not finish that sentence. I've never met the guy, so I can't confirm or deny that.
Well, I love the first Avatar. Jaws Revenge was horrible. I would agree with Neil.
Wasn't it?
That's the third one.
It wasn't Liz Blakely or whatever her name is. Who was in Blade 3 that didn't happen?
She married Justin Timberlake.
Are you talking about Jessica Biel?
Thank you. Yes. Somebody wrote Ryan Reynolds and the hot chick whose name I can't remember.
Jessica Biel. That was Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
And Triple H was in it and Parker Posey, but man, they just never made it. So
62. I'm not sure that $2 billion gets it at break even. I think 1.2 billion got it at break even. James Cameron, because if they spent 400 million on the movie, and then another 200 million on marketing the movie, with the theaters getting half the money, 1.2 billion's break even.
Dude, they still have
what James Cameron said was, for it to be considered successful, it has to hit 2 billion.
Dude, the money will keep flowing in. You know why? They're going to make another ride in Disney for it. Okay?
Yep.
So
all right, how about we sell some comics? Did we get to all the best offers at least?
We did. We only had 2.
I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't sure. I thought they filmed 3 and 4. I thought they filmed all 3 sequels, Marcus. I think they went beyond 3. I think he filmed all 4.
He explained that was because the younger kids, he didn't want them generation out.
Right.
So he wanted to shoot it all together.
Yeah. So
Ron.
So I think because I think if I remember, we've got Avatar 2 now, and isn't 3 coming out in May and 4 next December?
That I don't know.
I think that's what they're doing.
That I don't know. Ron, I had the same reaction to Jaws, by the way. I couldn't sleep that night. I imagined there was a shark swimming around the bed.
Neil, you may know better than me. I remember him saying 2 billion to be considered a success. But either way,
Avatar 3 is coming out Christmas of 2024.
Okay. So then Avatar 3 Christmas of 2024.
Wait, did you say 3 or 4?
24 is what it says.
When's Avatar 4 coming out then?
Probably Christmas of 2026, if I had to guess. Seems like it's going every 2 years.
Like a Christmas and a May. They were going to go back to back.
They're going to do this.
It's not going to take like 20-some years to make another one.
Well, how long did it take from the last one?
It was a long time.
It was like 14, right?
Yeah, something like that. Well, it was long enough that they could build an entire ride around it.
Avatar 4 right now is December 18th, 2026.
Wow.
And Avatar 5 is December 22, 2028. So they have 5 years.
Yeah, that's planning ahead. Well, with most of it shot, it's just a lot of editing work, I would imagine.
That's like heavy post-production on those films, right? For sure.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think it's also how many $2 billion movies can you put out with people not willing to spend it every 6 months?
That's a good point. All right, so
this is going to be up there as possibly the second let's see, what are the most successful franchises? Marvel Universe, James Bond, Fast and the Furious. What else would you put up there that are like in the $10 billion range? Fast and the Furious may not be that high. It might be only
anything Disney and or Pixar.
And Amy said anything Disney or Pixar. So
Star Wars
be in the $10 billion. Oh my God, Star Wars! How did I forget that?
That was Marcus.
Thank you, Mark.
For that
Marcus,
Indiana Jones.
Marcus, I don't think Indiana Jones has broken 1.5 billion.
I don't know.
I'm talking about 8 billion or more.
But you got to look at it this way.
In total, Batman probably has something like that, right? In total,
there you go. That's another one.
But that number's a misnomer because Shazam, which did less than Black Adam, was considered a box office success because it was so much cheaper.
Well, that's what I said. I said Marvel's number 1.
All right, so hold that thought because we got to go to our break.
Hold on. No. Finishing up. Hold on, because I got to go. I need you to sell. So as they said in Trading Places, sell. Anyway,
they had heart attacks. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. So So we got Marvel is number one, no matter what. Star Wars is probably number two. Then maybe James Bond. The DC Cinematic Universe is up there if you just do Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. But Batman by itself may be close too. Fast and the Furious might be in the $5 to $6 billion range, but Avatar might literally be the only single sequential movie that made it all by itself in that $8 to $10 billion range. Because even Star Wars, it was prequels, sequels. It was a lot to get there.
You got to keep in mind you have to adjust for current day. See, it gets complicated. All right,
just whatever you do, don't count Solo.
Neil, we're going to take a break and then we're going to come back. Jay said you had interest in the Doctor Strange CGC, so we'll do that first.
There you go. Indiana Jones, $2 billion. We're going $8 billion or higher, Neil. $8 billion or higher. That's the magic number.
All right, so break out your calculators. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite news show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh, keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.
All right, and we're back. Hey, Stevie B, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you missed the Siskel and Ebert, but we can go back to that. You never know with us. Fridays R&R shows are always awesome. What do you?
That's our show.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yeah, Rockin' Robbie. I expected him to say PCP. My bad.
No, that's our show. Me and you, Rex and Robbie.
Yeah. No, I know. Rex and Robbie. I get it now.
Okay.
Oh, not Rockin' Robbie. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's why you got to spell things out, Jay. But all right. So I promised Neil we're going to do the Doctor Strange. We got Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise #1. CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $99.99. And we have the one available for $63 for Doctor Strange's first appearance.
I will tell you all this. I was down a lot on Marvel last year, but this single issue, Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise #1 by Trad Moore, was the best single Marvel comic I had read in years. I loved this book. It was amazing. The artwork, it was psychedelic, it was imaginative, it was complex, it was challenging, it was such a rewarding experience. This was a great book.
Hey, Tom Bishop, are you claiming it, my friend? Just confirm, all right? But yeah, let me see. This is another one that we just got in from CGC.
Yeah, you must have. These are not these are recent books. This and the Punchline. So and Secret Invasion stuff there.
This is a wraparound cover too.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize that. Otherwise, I would have stitched the photos together. All right, you got it, Tom.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's cool to have it CGC because of that wraparound cover because you do get to see the back of it.
You get to see the back, exactly. All right, you got it, my friend. It's yours. Yeah, so I'm excited about Avatar. I do want to go see it. It may be a movie that may actually drag me out to theaters so I can see it in the big screen. I say that, but I'm probably lying.
I'm one of those rare guys who doesn't really like Avatar that much, so I do want to see it just for the spectacle of it, but I haven't made it a priority yet.
What's 3 hours?
Avatar.
Amy just came in to inform me it's 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, what did you expect? I mean, I
hadn't thought of that.
That's why I haven't made it a priority. But the thing is, this isn't a movie I'm going to enjoy on my TV. The only way to see it really is going to be in the theater. If you want that whole 3D immersive experience, and I hear that is, on the first Avatar movie, not the biggest fan, but on a technical level, that's a very important and skillful film. So I'm sure the second one's just the same.
Well, I got to tell you, for me, and this was before they got to they created the Rise of Resistance in Disney World. So I've only been on that once, but I got to tell you, the Avatar ride, the flight of the I forget what the name of it is.
Flight of the Navi or something like that.
Yeah. Now I got to look it up. When the first time we rode that, I have to admit it was absolutely phenomenal. Let's see yes, Flight of the Navi, I guess. I was just, I mean, if you go to Disney World, Avatar Flight of Passage, that's what it is. To the point where normally I won't. Thank you, John Spilios. And Weird, what's going on, buddy? Marcus says it's trendy to not like Avatar, but the numbers can't be denied. I would agree with that as well. Visually, I thought the movie was phenomenal. The first one. When we got onto the ride, and literally, this is a ride I waited like 120 minutes for, which I normally don't do. Marcus, I would agree. The movie itself is a theme park ride, and when they turned it into a theme park, it was crazy. OUG, what's going on, buddy? It was absolutely incredible. My daughter ended up loving the ride and ended up rewatching the movie because I think I watched it once when like the first couple times through. She was like, "Oh, I remember this. You always watch this movie on TV and all that stuff." So I'm excited. And James Cameron, you have to admit, the guy does know how to make a spectacle. You think about Titanic and everything else. And I've been reading some stories about Titanic and how brutal that movie was to make.
Yeah, and I mean, he does spectacle, and he's been doing it. Terminator 2, Aliens, like he knows spectacle, he knows what to do. I don't think he's a bad filmmaker. I'm not trying to jump on a trend of hating Avatar. That would be the easy thing to do. Not necessarily something that I liked a lot, but I understand what it is, and I thought it was an amazing visual experience to be there watching the theater. I do want to see this one in theater. I just haven't made it a priority yet.
Yeah, 3 hours, man. I can't get them to pause. That's the problem.
That's like every movie nowadays, though, man. The latest Batman movie was 3 hours. This is ridiculous. We're getting ridiculous here.
I know. No one to make part 2. Kind of like Doom.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh man. Random is Key TV. What's going on? Thanks for joining us, man. You have not seen the first Avatar. That makes you and Nick, so you're not the only one. Tom Bishop says Babylon was great.
Well, I really want to see that. That's the Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie one. I really want to see
I've heard, yeah, it didn't do that well, though, you know? So I kind of feel like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that one works.
It probably didn't do well because it didn't have superheroes and 3D explosions and stuff.
That's true. That is true. I did read an article today about that as well, how it's kind of released from superheroes this last year. I don't know if you consider Avatar and Dune and things like that. They're kind of superheroes without capes in a sense, really. You know what I mean? Yeah,
either superheroes or like big tentpole franchises. Like that's all that people go to the theaters to see anymore, it seems like.
Right. Joel, what's going on, buddy? All right, so throwing this out there. As always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. Suggested retail of $40 or higher, so $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we have them for $5, so 50 cents a copy. All right, just want to get that out there. All right, let's do and Weird says, took the whole family to see the first one in IMAX, then bought the Blu-ray. Wait to stream this.
Ronald wrote?
The comments are coming up pretty fast and furious. So
just like the movies. He said selling comics will also help your algorithm.
We'll get to a CCA now for Ron. All right, so somebody mentioned.
You know what I'll do for Ronald?
What do you do for Ronald?
Put up the CCA for Star Wars.
All right.
We'll give Ronald first crack, too.
So Star Wars C-3PO number 1, 4 connecting sketch cover set. All right. By Geoffrey Gwynn and Mariana Nicieza. Suggested retail of $500, and we have the one available for $197.70 for 1977.
All right. We're going to make it $1.50 just for Ronald, or if Ronald passes, instead of $197.70, we're going to bring it down to $150.
All right.
You know what? I'll take it even further.
Here we go.
I'll go to $149.99.
Oh, so gracious, Nick. That's awesome.
Well, listen, it was $197.70, and before that, it was $500.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
All right. Did you guys thought that wasn't
keep crossing it out, man?
Since you guys thought that wasn't enough, I'll take it just a little bit further. Instead of $149.99, let's do $149.95.
You keep making me cross out here.
That puts it in a different tax bracket, y'all.
Exactly. So and $150 is a lot of money. So if anybody wants to put like 25% down and pay the rest within 30 days, I'm good with that.
All right, but Ron, let us know though, okay? Because you have right of first refusal. So if you're gonna pass, let us know, buddy. Comic Tropes, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, Chris, great to have you here.
All right, so
Robbie. You want to do another interview with Mia? We're launching a new Indiegogo campaign tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. We'll set it up.
Awesome.
Sure. Mia's super cool. We love having her on the channel.
She's fantastic. Oh, look at this. Thank you, Neil.
Yeah, Neil's got all the...
Oh, my God. I can't believe we didn't even think of Harry Potter.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Right.
So we got Marvel at $28 billion, Star Wars at $10 billion, Spider-Man at $9 billion. That's right, because Spider-Man isn't officially part of the cinematic universe. Harry Potter at $9 billion, Jurassic Park at $6 billion. All right, Ronald passes. So if anybody else wants it for $149.95.
All right, so that again is the 4 connecting Star Wars set, C-3PO number 1, 4 connecting sketch covers. The famous scene on Tatooine.
Gotta love the way Neil came in with everything. It cost a lot of money to copy Chariot Races back then.
All right, so we have the one available for $149.95.
Isn't it amazing how quickly you get down there in the $1 billion club?
Isn't it crazy how like Shrek made more money than Mission Impossible?
Right? although I'm pretty sure the next Mission Impossible movie may get close to bringing Cruise another $1 billion franchise.
Yeah, I'm really pumped for that movie.
I mean, after Top Gun, I mean, Jesus, Top Gun has 2 movies and it's like at $2 billion.
Right.
Hey, I finally watched Top Gun. I liked that movie. I thought that was really good. Top Gun Maverick, like I really liked it.
No,
Yeah,
the second one.
Second one. I
No
really
one
liked it.
I know, not a single person has said anything bad about Top Gun Maverick. Not a single person. I have yet to see a negative review.
All right, so Nick, random is key is question about
We are
Kickstarter.
tomorrow. It's an Indiegogo campaign, and we are launching it tomorrow at 1:00 on Indiegogo with Anamia. It's going to be really cool. She's writing a character she's never written before. She wrote Betty Page as a one-shot on Indiegogo, and then she wrote a miniseries. So this is something new. So I'm going to let Rex sell so that we don't lose Ronald as one of our team. So what the heck did I do here? What did I move?
I have no idea what you moved.
Neither do I. What the heck did I move stuff?
You might have.
There's no. Oh, here we go. All right, here's one. Maybe you only had 3 items on this line.
No, that's right. You got it right.
Oh, nope. There we go.
Oh no, you know, you didn't have it right. Okay, never mind.
All right.
So, all right, just for Ron, let's throw this up here. And somebody else mentioned, I forget who it was. Mighty Avengers
Oh,
number
you
one.
actually saw me? Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to scare anybody.
Mighty Avengers number one, signed connecting sketch covers of Ant-Man and the Wasp by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $199.99, and we have this connecting cover set for $100.
That's a really good deal, especially with their movie coming out soon.
It is coming out, so I'm excited about that. I
am too.
think
I really want to see what Jonathan Majors is going to do as Kang, because we got to see him in that nice scene chewing scene at the end of Loki season 1. But to get to see what he does as Kang, I'm excited to see that, especially knowing he's going to be a big deal going forward.
Yeah, and he's I like his acting, so that should be very interesting. The whole Ant-Man series I like as well. You know, that's where they made good use of humor, unlike Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay.
I agree. Yeah, right.
They had the right mix. So when does Ant-Man Wasp come out? Soon, right? Like in the next 3 months?
It's March, right? Is it March? Surely it's.
I feel like it's soon. Comic Trope says Jonathan Majors is so compelling. Also curious to see him in Creed 3. I didn't realize he'd be in Creed 3.
Yeah, he's the villain in Creed 3. It comes out February 17th here in the States. Like, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's sooner than I realized.
Yeah, there you go, Comic Tropes. Thanks, man. So yeah, that'll be out soon. Awesome.
Wow. I thought that was March.
And I agree, it's weird. Thor was bad. Bad.
The goats were the best part of that movie. I'm just going to say that. Okay.
Oh, no. Come on, man. I mean, no.
I don't know. Those goats were cracking me up for some reason.
There were 2 things that were tied for the worst thing. Okay. The goats at first were mildly amusing. And then it felt like every 10 minutes, the goats would come in screaming with no real context. All right, Ron, you got it, buddy. No real context at all. So yeah, I was I did not think that. And then who was it played Zeus?
That was Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Yeah, that was awful. That was bad. That was just bad.
Is Lars Man here?
Lars Man yes, he is here. The goats were great, maybe.
All right, Lars Man.
I might have to disagree with Lars Man on that one. Goats were not great.
We were going to save this till Friday, but since you're here tonight, we're still raising money for Fat Jacks. We raised a few more bucks for them last week, thanks to everyone, yourself included. This arrived today. I'll start with the back for Fat Jack's COVID Recovery Fund. All right. So when you see who the artist is, you'll understand. So we're shooting for $500 for this, if you can budget it. Spider-Man by Jimmy Chung.
Whoa.
Right?
That's a rare to get original art from Jim Chung. That's awesome.
It is. No pressure, Lars, man. Wanted to give you first choice. or anyone else. Otherwise, we'll put it on Friday's original art experience. But this literally just arrived. So
That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous too, Nick. That's awesome.
Chris, thank you for that. That was awesome of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. That means so much to me. So I really appreciate it. I started buying from Fat Jack's when I was 13 years old, and he sold to me wholesale so that I could sell at conventions and to my friends. So
I think Comic Tropes deserves the Santa pants.
No.
Chime in, Marcus, if you agree, buddy.
No Santa pants.
Chime in anytime you want, Marcus.
Yeah,
that's right though. That is Ditko-esque.
It is. It is. It's Ditko inspired. So, all right, Lars, man. Unless anybody else.
Lars man's playing the drinking game by himself. He misspelled tempted twice.
I noticed. So,
Jerem, what's going on, man?
All right, I'm gonna let you guys go.
Marcus would like to see the Santa pants. Just saying.
I don't have them on.
I know. Friday, Nick will have the Santa pants on Friday.
What did I say about the Santa pants?
That you'll wear them on Friday. You heard it here first.
On one condition. If somebody donates $1,000 to Fat Jack's, I will put them on.
Here we go. You heard it here first.
If $1,000 gets donated to Fat Jack's, I will wear the Santa pants.
All right. There's your opportunity.
So that's better than what Anthony Snyder did. You know what Anthony Snyder did for $1,000?
That's a lot of money. So I would say that including the Santa pants, we need the hat as well.
No. Pants is all you're going to get. No, officially unofficial, not everything is. We would love to, but we can't do everything. But we do have this. Best offer on the pants.
Best offer on the pants is starting at $1.
So this is what
unwashed.
God no. This is what Anthony did. For $1,000, he wore a diaper on Saturday at New York at San Diego Comic-Con.
Neil, I'm not that ritzy, buddy. For $200, I'll eat the can of Spam on the air. I have no problem with that.
It's got to be one person. It's got to be one person. Otherwise, we're going to have everybody say, "Oh, but I already donated a few days ago."
It has to be dated today.
It has
or
to be,
later.
It has to be one person, and it has to be today.
And
or later.
Well,
it has to be between today and Friday.
Fair enough. Between today and Friday.
Between today and Thursday. Because I actually have to put them on
We
Friday.
do need John here because I'll need John to do something to season it up for me.
It's weird. Crowdfunding. Marcus wants to crowdfund for me to wear the Santa. But listen, Anthony cheated though.
Two variants.
He wore
unwashed.
He wore boxers under the diapers. So to me, that was cheating. Come on, you got to agree that's cheating.
And only if he laid the rules out ahead of time.
Well, that was the thing. And I actually, when the person offered the $1,000, I posted no cheating by wearing anything under the diapers.
All right, so here we go. Yeah, for a $200 donation to Fat Jack's, I will eat the Spam on the air. I have no problem doing that. Okay.
Chris, don't worry about it, man.
Are you gonna have a hot plate for John to cook it up for you? Make some musubi or something?
Actually, we do have a hot plate.
Look at that. That's a stretch goal for Nick in the diapers.
Better make clear, no boxers underneath. We do have a hot plate actually, and it's a small enough one in the kitchen that we could probably bring it in here and have John cook me up something, man. Maybe that might be a whole event right there.
That's way more in people's budget than the $1,000 donation. It's the $200 to get some Spam live cooking show going on here.
OUD. First, comic tropes. It's not punishment at all. I will tell you right now, we talk about Spam because we love Spam. We know the history of Spam. Our buddy Marcus, we're waiting for the time that we can go to the Spam Museum for him. Okay.
Yes.
Was it Marcus that lives here at the Spam Museum?
No, it's Manny. It's Manny. It's Manny who lives in Minnesota.
Manny. That's right.
He says they have Spam flavors from around the world. We're gonna get everybody there. We're gonna have a fun Spam time.
It's actually on my bucket list to visit the Spam Museum. I'm not even playing.
I'm not playing either, Rex. Like,
let's do it. Let's do it. Road trip.
We got to plan this, man. Let's plan this.
And then who was it? CJ designed stench goal. I like that. Ron, we don't actually have a prize planned for tonight, but you know what? Next break, I'll grab something. All right, or Nick may be watching, so he may grab something. Hell, I'll be honest with you, Ed. I'd probably eat it for $20, but I already said $200.
I got something that'll raise money for Fat Jacks that I think people will jump on.
Okay. Ron's asking about a giveaway too, so next time you go out.
All right, guys. This JLA Avengers trade paperback. This is the Hero Initiative one that was limited to 7,000 copies. This is different than the George Perez personal copies. If someone wants to buy this for $150, this is my personal copy, which means I'm going to have to go and buy a new one. I will donate the $150 to Fat Jacks. Okay. I checked on eBay. People are selling this for between $150 and $350. So $150 gets you my copy of JLA Avengers trade paperback. And the Ant-Man and Wasp sold, so I will put these together, put this here. So $150, you get the JLA Avengers trade, my personal copy, and we'll see what else we can think of.
Probably a more worthwhile deal than watching me eat Spam, but you never know.
Well, they have
who knows what John will come up with.
Yeah, right? So
yes, Comic Tropes, you are correct. And we did have the all right, TJ James. Thank you, man.
Nice.
All right, TJ James, can you send the money straight to FJC Mike at Comcast.net?
I'll tell you. Well, you know what? I don't know if we have TJ's information. So, Jay, if you could throw up the submission form. TJ, if you don't mind, click on the link, fill out the submission form.
Yeah, and then I'll send you. I would prefer you PayPal Mike directly. This way,
yeah, we can include that PayPal address on the invoice.
This way, the PayPal fees only happen once.
Right. No, so once you fill out the submission form, we'll be able to invoice you on our side, and we'll include the PayPal address
for Fat Jacks. That'll
correct.
Be great. So the only thing you'll pay us for is the shipping.
Right, correct. So there you go.
Thank you, TJ.
Thank you, TJ. That was really
greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's very generous of you, man. Thank you.
And that's a great point for sure.
All right, there you go. So there's a link for it, TJ. All right, so wow, it's time for the next break. How about that? We're flying through. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find the link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show. You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today. You're watching The Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Robert says the link does not work. All right, so I just tried it. It came up for me, but if you're having trouble with the link, email me directly at brett.lang@dynamite.com. And Jay, when you get a chance, throw that up in the chat as well.
All right, this is my last special appearance. I bought these books from Fat Jacks a few months ago to help them. So I will offer them at the same price I paid for them. And if anybody buys these, again, the money will go straight to Fat Jack, so they get paid twice. So we have Amazing Spider-Man 93 with the Prowler.
I think
Jason, somehow y'all were still talking through the opener. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I'm watching now. Yeah, it's still.
Marcus says hot mic. So they can hear us.
They can't see us.
They can't see us. Jay, come on, Jay. You're the man. Fix this, baby.
All right, so we're back on.
We are.
Yes. And all right, so you can try that
all
again.
Right, one last time. I bought these books from Fat Jacks a few months ago. If anybody buys them, we'll get Fat Jacks the money twice. You can buy them at the price I paid and just pay them directly. So I bought this Amazing Spider-Man 93 for $30 with the Prowler. If anybody wants it, it'll be $30.
All right, hold on now. Now I got to make a list here.
Commence with the Spidey.
All right. That Amazing Spider-Man, what number?
93 for $30.
93 for 30. Okay.
Then we have Tales of Suspense, number 97, The Coming of Whiplash for $50. This is a really good one. I love this one. Also, Green Lantern number 40. This is the Green Lantern issue where this leads into Crisis on Infinite Earths. This one is actually going to
All right, so hold on. Lars Man is claiming the ASM.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on.
ASM.
Lars Man. Okay. And then what was the Green Lantern number 40?
$60.
60.
So this is the first appearance of Kronos. This is one of my all-time favorite comics. I actually have like 14 copies of this book in different conditions because I love it. So, like I said, when it came to helping out Mike, picking this up was a no-brainer for me. Yeah, really, or we would have been on TMZ. And then Thor 126, the famous Thor Hercules fight. I picked it up for $80, so I'll offer it for $80. Again, if any of these sell, and what I'll do is I'll move these. You can pay what I paid, and the money will go straight to Fat Jacks. Oh, I got one more. Jesus. First appearance of Valzo, Earth 2, number 19, for $100.
For how much?
It's weird. We're so sorry.
For how much now?
$100.
Okay. So hold on, I gotta catch up. What happened now?
Ed Weird's been sick.
Oh, that's not good.
Nah, man. I'm sorry, man. We will definitely keep you in our prayers, buddy.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that, brother.
Sorry, man.
We're
here for you.
Yeah, you have us in your, we have you in our thoughts. That's as always, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So Lars Man says,
yes, you can pay Mike direct again, Lars, man. You've got his PayPal address.
Wait, didn't you buy these from?
Yeah, Mike's getting the money twice.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Mike's actually getting the money twice. He got the money from me, and now he's going to get the money from whoever buys it.
All right, Lars, we will still invoice you on it, but yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah,
and weird, no, dude, don't, please, don't be sorry.
Don't.
I mean, this is just real life. I mean, we hate to hear it, but unfortunately, there's no way you can hide from real life.
Yeah, man, you're a member of the community, a member of the family, man. Of course, we're here for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you need anything, we're here to support you, buddy. If you want, if you're at home with nothing to do, we'll put together a package for you and ship it to you. So happy to put a reading pack your way.
We're always here to support the community.
I hope that everything works out with the biopsy, though.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Thoughts and prayers, buddy. Thoughts and prayers. Ronald, I didn't catch your comment before, but I am happy to support the cause.
He goes, he received my 2 Fat Jack mystery packs on Saturday. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man. We've said it, and you can never say too much. This is obviously a great community we've built here, and we appreciate it.
And then Weird again, let us know. We'll put something in the mail for you, buddy.
Absolutely.
This way you've got something to read and pass the time.
Absolutely. For the draw off. Yeah, Neil. I mean, your competition won't be very stiff. It'll be John. Thanks, Comic Tropes. One of the fun things about this is it's been a great community that we've managed to build. You hear all the negativity coming from social media, the internet, so on and so forth, and you don't see it here. And there will be no lead story on MSN or Yahoo or anywhere else like that because, unfortunately, just like the weather, people want to read about the atmospheric river. Nobody wants to hear, it was partly sunny today and about 67 degrees, I guess. So, but I'm glad that we have such a great community, man. Thank you, Easy. Look at that, Jay. All right, so let me get a couple more books off the roster here. All right, let's do this one. Action Comics number 1000, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens. This is the 2000s decade variant cover. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we have the one available 5-star at $50, and it is number 9 of only 25 signed in silver. Thank you, OUG, for saying that, buddy. All right, so that is available. We have one signed in silver, 5-star at 50, signed by the man who killed Superman, Dan Jurgens. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's do this one. I love this one. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man number 1, Legacy number 802, signed by Ryan Otley. Suggested retail of $49.99, and this is another wraparound cover. It's only number 6 of 130 signed. OUG, the Action Jurgens is $50, my friend. All right, so this one is just a retail of $49.99, and we have it for a ridiculous. Lars,
sorry,
$19.62. You got it, Lars, man. It's yours, brother. I figured this would be right up your alley, and it is a beautiful wraparound cover.
That's great.
All right,
I love that Ryan Otley stuff, man.
Me too. All right, so for OUG, let's throw up the Action Comics number 1000 again, Jay, if you don't mind. There you go, buddy. Signed in silver, number 9 of only 25 signed, and it is 5-star at 50. So OUG, let us know. All right. Let's see here. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great the way everybody is in this community, and best part of my day is doing the show. I want to thank Robbie as always, for being here on Mondays and a few Wednesdays.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I don't even mind being here when Alec's here with me. I don't even mind that as much. So,
Alec, who will be here on Wednesday for our show. Hopefully, John's back by that point. But beyond
at least you're here, Rex, because the show's not the same without you, as we found out on Wednesday.
Yeah, I heard it went a little bit off the rails there, right? After I had to leave last Wednesday.
I'm glad you're back, bro. We appreciate you, Rex. Don't we all appreciate Rex? Everybody, come on.
Oh, and Weird wants to see the trophy again, the award.
It's back there somewhere. I'm not going to get up and grab that. Come on.
This is Robbie's sense of what? Of humility?
Yeah. I appreciate it. I am the Rockin' Robbie, the award-winning Rockin' Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers, but I don't like.
There you go. And Stevie B, nice shout out to Comic Tropes, saying that his channel's content is very enjoyable and his topics are always well researched.
Yeah, I love his channel. I first checked out his channel because I was trying to do some research on this Hobgoblin story from the 80s, and I found he had a video about it. Love his channel. So good. I was like, man, I wish I could do videos like that, but at least he does them. So there you go. But I love his stuff.
So wait, do you have a show tonight?
I do. It's the kickoff of the 2023 PCP movie night season. We're talking about John Carpenter's They Live.
Ah.
Yes. Very excited for that one.
Yes. Who just said that? Oh man, this is moving like fast. Ron, that is not a Wonder Woman CCA, unfortunately. Let me see. But we do have one CCA left, which we'll get to, but I want to see here. Hold on. I missed something that somebody put up. It might have been Facebook because it's not showing up on my YouTube. Hold on. Give me a second to catch up. And weird. There we go. Yes, they match. I know, right? Actually, I have tons of this gear. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this one is for Ron as well. Well, anybody can jump in on it, but Ron is probably our most prolific collector of sketch covers. So X-Men Battle of the Atom #1, signed with cover sketch of the new Captain America, Falcon, obviously, by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $99.99, and it is $69 for the year that the of Falcon's first appearance. So, Ron, it's weird when I cut and paste it, it's working for me, the submission form. If it might be a cookie issue, I don't know, Ron. But if it's not working for you by the end of the show or you can't get on it, just go ahead and shoot me and Amy an email. No problems there, buddy. And we'll take care of it that way if necessary. All right, so there you go.
Chatting about They Live in the chat, like Comics Trope says, all-time great fight scene. Thomas says that's one of my favorite Carpenter films. I love that movie. I loved it as a kid. I loved it on the rewatch, and that fight scene is super epic. Like, that's one of my favorite. You've seen They Live, have you not, Rex?
I'm trying to remember which one it is. Is
the
it
one
the
with
one
Roddy
with
Piper where he puts
yes,
on the
yes, and the glasses, of course. Yes. Yes, that's what I thought it was. It's been so long. Roddy Piper, I thought, was not a bad actor at all.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
yeah,
professional wrestlers have to have that in them. You know, they're not. I mean, I'm not saying that he's Oliver Reed, you know, or anything like that. But yeah,
no, but I don't think he did really any worse when you look at, like, you know, we talk about this a lot. I love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but every character Dwayne "The Rock" plays, it's just Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing this guy with another name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
And John Cena, I think, actually is maybe a slightly better actor than The Rock. But
I think he is too. And it's weird for me to admit that because I think The Rock is a better entertainer than John Cena. But John Cena is a better actor than The Rock, for sure.
But I don't think Roddy Piper was significantly worse than either one of them in any way. So I was a little surprised he didn't seem to get any more roles. Alec, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, it's our friend Alec, who we never talk smack about. What's up, man?
Oh, comic tropes. Batista. Yeah, I think he stretches himself. I would agree. And he's looking for more roles, you know?
Someone recently just came out and said, who, I don't remember who it was. Was it James Gunn or somebody said Dave Bautista is the best wrestler turned actor. And it caused some controversy. But he is really good. It's not easy to do comedic timing like he does with Drax and stuff like that. And he little tiny roles in like Blade Runner or Dune or even Army of the Dead. You see so much more of what he's capable of, which I think is awesome. I think he's got a lot of potential as an actor. And he's just recently in Glass Onion, hilarious in Glass Onion.
I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard good things about it. Well, Rubenstein, which one is the worst movie you've ever seen? Because I personally enjoyed They Live, but I remember when it came out, it didn't have a whole lot of push to it.
No, and it's definitely a cult favorite, you know, and I wouldn't say it's the best Carpenter film if we want to look at it. Like, I mean, Carpenter's made some of the best films in the last 30, 40 years, but I think They Live is pretty solid.
Well, I think it's a good storyline. You know, the premise is good. The glasses are pretty cool. You know, kind of like the X-ray glasses you used to order, you know, in the ad at the back of the comics.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, kind of thing. So I liked how he played on that, and I liked Roddy Piper. I thought he was good. I thought he would have gotten more roles, but he really didn't. I can't think of anything else he was in.
Yeah, and then Keith David's really good in it too. Who's the other guy in it who gets in the fight with them? And I love that fight because it starts out and they're just like they're boxing, and it ends with them just like biting each other, pulling like ears apart. Like it's so great, and it goes on for like 12 minutes. It feels like it's such a long fight. It's great.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Glass Onion, Tom Bishop. Yeah, Edward, that's a good point, though. Yeah, that's a good point. I think maybe Roddy Piper was a little bit before his time because wrestling was still seen to be rather cheesy. I mean, I guess Roddy Piper came out of the era with like Bruno Sammartino and whatever.
That's even before the Hulk Hogan movies, right? Like Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando. It's even before that.
Hulk Hogan was a horrible actor. I'm sorry.
I know, man, but there is something about me that loves Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando.
I mean, his best role was in the Rocky movie playing himself, pretty much. That was about it.
Yes, you're right.
He was okay. Comic Trope says Roddy Piper was a recurring hobo on Always Sunny towards his later years. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never seen Always Sunny, but it's always recommended to me.
I've watched several episodes. I didn't watch the whole series, but it was fun in a dark, irreverent way. But it was funny. But like, it's just one of those movies, a little bit like Seinfeld in the sense they were all jerks, every one of them. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but it was definitely a good series. I enjoyed it. Well, Rubenstein says he's been watching old wrestling on YouTube. Zeus, that's right. Zeus.
I loved No Holds Barred when I was a young kid. I loved it.
Who was that guy? He wasn't a wrestler. He really was a professional arm wrestler. He was with Sly in that movie Over the Top.
Which one? You talking about the dude from No Holds Barred?
No. Remember the arm wrestling movie with Sly?
Yeah, I love Over the Top. Which guy are you talking about from that movie?
The guy, the antagonist, the guy he faces in the final round, the really big dude.
Is that the Bull, right? Is that?
I guess he wasn't a wrestler. He was a professional arm wrestler. Something about a heart condition.
Is he the big bald guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is Rick Zumwalt. It seems like.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. I thought he was pretty good. I remember seeing him. I think when that movie came out, Johnny Carson was still doing the Tonight Show. I don't know.
Yeah. That's right there. Yeah, I loved that movie when I was a kid. They even had action figures for Over the Top. Yep. That movie was a sensation for me. Like, I don't know why. And when Sylvester Stallone turned his hat backwards and it's serious business then.
Yeah,
I loved it, man. It's so cheesy, but I love it. I still want some of those action figures.
Oh, I'm surprised you don't have them.
Yeah, I think they're pretty pricey because I don't think they made too many of them. I don't think they were too popular either.
Well, it didn't quite, it didn't quite vault to that point. Obviously, otherwise they would have made an Over the Top too.
Okay. And they were really banking on that movie too. I think it. I just remember. To me as a kid, it was like the greatest movie ever. Like, I
wouldn't go that far, but I enjoyed it.
Bro, I was like 6, 7, right? So I'm like it and Back to the Future. Like that's it. That's like there's no movies that are going to be ever as good as those.
It was like as John describes in popcorn movies. You know, it wasn't real long. I remember, right? I don't even think it hit 2 hours.
Oh yeah, back in the 80s, they knew how to pace a movie and not have it be 3 hours long, right?
And it was just a fun movie and a good storyline. You know, poor dad
trying to get his son back. Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, Rich. Yeah. You know, son is with rich stepfather in boarding school, and it just the whole thing was just it was a good popcorn feel good movie. I feel like
they had to tie their arms together. I remember that bit, where they had to tie it together because they kept coming loose, and it makes arm wrestling seem very intense.
It does. So Stevie B brought up a good point. We lost another child actor. It was Adam Rich, who had played on 8 is Enough, which was something I watched all the time. You know, it was just one of those shows that you watched. And 54, apparently, he passed away.
Oh man,
which is way too young. That's a damn shame. There are more spiral arm fractures from random arm wrestling than you would believe. You do not want a spiral fracture. No, I do not. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that my arm wrestling days have long since passed. Marcus says they just want to hold hands. But that was
a very elaborate way just to hold hands.
You should review that one, Over the Top.
It's been on my list in my head to do for a long time. Over the Top is definitely something I want to do. We're just now going to get to another Sylvester Stallone classic in April. We're doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So
didn't like that movie.
Well, I don't remember it too well, but we'll see what happens.
With, one of the Golden Girls, right?
Yeah, Estelle Getty, right?
Yeah, Estelle Getty. Yeah, that was like that. I remember watching that movie, and it was just okay. We can just put Sly in anything, and it'll sell.
Yeah, we're doing some fun ones this year. We're a couple weeks or something away from Surf Ninjas. I don't know if many people remember that one, but Surf Ninjas is coming up too. So, and we did do Demolition Man a few years ago. Love that movie. Loved it.
I love that movie. That was another great movie. So Ed Weir says he saw it over the Christmas break and he loved it. I don't remember walking away from that movie with that impression. Demolition Man, awesome. I thought that was again a movie that they were smart in not making a Demolition Man 2. You know, that was perfect.
Yeah, that's not everything needs a sequel or a franchise.
Agree.
Some things can just be a good movie and exist as a good movie forever.
And the Tango and Cash, I love that movie as well.
That's a good one. Another favorite of mine for Stallone is Cobra. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like that movie, but I love that movie, and it's actually the second most viewed video on my channel is our Cobra movie review. So for some reason,
I watched the movie, and it's good for what it is. Okay, but it was just, I don't know. It felt like Sylvester was trying a little too hard to be just like that.
He was
that cool, mysterious guy.
He was,
you know?
and the movie's trying to be a comedy and serious at the same time, and it doesn't work. It does not work. But I love that movie because I was a kid. I grew up as a kid in the 80s, and I thought all those movies were awesome. I thought they were the best movies of cinema history at that time, right?
Yeah, I was not terribly impressed with Cobra. John Spilios, Sandra Bullock was great in Demolition Man. That was just a phenomenal movie. A good storyline. The amount of humor they injected. Okay, you know that's what happens when you produce a movie and you realize you don't want to go too far with the humor, like they did in Thor: Blood and Thunder, right? Or Love and Thunder. It was just the right amount of comedy, like, you know, what to do with the seashells in the bathroom kind of thing. You know, the sex thing was hilarious.
Yeah, so many cool bits, like the Taco Bell thing was a big deal.
Yeah,
remember?
The franchise war. What I had heard, I remember reading in the paper at the time. Yeah, right. John Spillers, the 3 clamshells. When the movie at the time is they had actually approached Burger King first, and Burger King said no, and that's why it ended up being Taco Bell winning the franchise wars.
There's another one where because the UK release of it, apparently I don't think they have Taco Bell, so in the UK release it's a Pizza Hut that they're at.
That's right. I remember reading that as well. Luckily, the food was so unrecognizable; it didn't really matter how you did it.
Exactly.
It worked. Yes, and that was my favorite scene as well. Yeah, to get enough tickets to wipe with. It was just a whole thing, you know, be well and that thing that they did without touching. And it was just
Wesley Snipes. So Wesley Snipes, man, Simon Says.
Oh, he was phenomenal. I mean, he was phenomenal, Wesley Snipes.
They did also make Demolition Man action figures, and I do have a John Spartan and a Simon. So I do have Wesley and Sly action figures for Demolition Man. So
I mean, Wesley Snipes obviously as an actor, I always thought he was better than Sly, but he really engaged in that role, that kind of insane sort of guy, just not quite there, a little off, which I thought was fantastic. And we're Rubenstein, another great movie that they should not have made a sequel of. Starship Troopers. By who was the director? Verhoeven, right?
Is that Paul Verhoeven, right?
Yeah. The same guy that made RoboCop, right?
Yeah, it is. Isn't that the same guy that did Total Recall, the original?
Yes, yeah, you're right. That's right. He did do Total Recall. All his stuff just had a certain look to it.
Yeah.
Yes, the rant from Dennis Leary. That is, yes. I want high cholesterol. It was great.
Yeah, that's great. The classic Leary.
Yeah, exactly. So, he played himself, but it worked in that movie. RoboCop was a great movie. Sequels started to get really weak.
Yeah.
Not
even Frank Miller could help those out, right?
Yeah, there was,
or maybe that was the problem. I don't know. We'll never uncover that, really.
Well, you kind of have to know when to stop, and the problem with the sequels in RoboCop is you have to see something different happen, right? All right, you've laid out how the world's going to be, and this kind of oligarch corporation running the world type of thing, and it was great, especially you remember that one scene, the CEO steps over the dead body, and his secretary's there, and he's like, and he goes, oh, they're going to sue, and she goes, well, not the dead ones. They always have families. It was just so, without meaning to be, hilarious,
Yeah. And fun in a way that actually made a statement and a point. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, but all of those movies, I think, were very self-contained and really, I would agree. PG-13 didn't help.
That's the biggest problem is RoboCop was a movie that was an R-rated film made for adults that kids love. They even did a toy line. They did a cartoon series, and they tried to kidify make the sequels more toyetic. And then that's when the studio gets in the midst of it. And we could have had a really great RoboCop. Imagine 3 RoboCop movies with the vibe and tone of the first one. That would have been amazing.
Well, I think the problem was they had to advance the story, and they didn't. It kind of felt like they went back, took the original story, and just moved some pieces around. All right, they didn't really advance it, so it was a weakness in the screenplay. I kind of feel like, you know what I mean? And weird, yeah, but it wasn't the CEO. It's the CEO that fires the main antagonist, who was like an executive VP, right? You remember the last scene?
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name, but he goes, "You're fired," and all of a sudden, bang, shoots him right out the window.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, we got to take our last and final break, and then we'll get to the rest of the books. We'll do a Rex cap. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Did you know that across America there are over 2, maybe even 3 live stream producers who can't even afford Mountain Dew? Take Brian here. Brian has gone 2 weeks without a sip of Red Bull. If it goes on much longer, he may take a shower and get a real job. Situations like this are as tragic as they are preventable. Join the experience on YouTube and gain access to special emojis and members-only streams. For less than a cup of coffee, you can keep socially awkward hermit people working from their parents' basements where they belong. Scan the QR code on the screen to join. You'll be glad you did. Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Hello, my name is Julio Anta. I am the writer of Home from Image Comics. You can pick it up anywhere books are sold. It's a 5-issue series, and you're watching me on The Experience.
Hey, and we're back. All right, so let's get through some of these books here. All right, so next up, we have Batman 3 Jokers #1, Red Hood variant, signed in silver by Jeff Johns. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 18 of 40. We have one available for $30. All right. That's one heck of a cover. All right, so
all those covers were great on this.
Yeah, I know. All right, then we have Wonder Woman #0, signed in gold by Cliff Chang. Suggested retail of $89.99. It's not number 19 of 20, signed in gold. And we have the one available for $41 for 1941, Wonder Woman's first appearance.
It's one of my favorite Wonder Woman runs, is this Brian Azzarello Cliff Chang run. Love it.
All right. So let's go back for a second to Batman 3 Jokers, Jay. Yes, signed by Jeff Johns there, OUG. All right, and we have one available for $30, signed in silver. All right, here we go. Then next up, we got Heroes Reborn, Marvel Double Action #1, signed by Tim Seeley. And it's just a retail of $39.99. We have one available. It is number 8 of only 22 signed. And we have it for $22 for 22 being in the edition of those signed.
Love that cover too.
Yeah, it is a cool cover. All right. And then we have Captain America, The End #1, signed in gold by Raza. It is number 1 in the edition of only 15 signed. It is signed in gold. Suggested retail of $89.99. And it is 5-star at $50. And we have the one available for $50.
That's another great cover. Wow. This cover's awesome, actually.
All right. Let's see. Did we do this one? I thought we did this one, didn't we? Let me see here. Hey, Jay, can you check me? I thought we did this one. X-Men Battle of the Atom with new Captain America.
Yeah, we did that.
We did do it. Did Ron claim that or he didn't? I don't remember.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. Ron, let us know, buddy. I'm not sure if you claimed that or not.
You want me to go ahead and pop that up on the screen?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Definitely going to be the star in the next Captain America movie, Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie. I'm excited for it.
Gotcha. Thank you, Rubenstein. Keeping track for us. I appreciate it, buddy. Now I got the viewers helping me. All right, so you know what? Let's throw out Secret Invasions #1, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $99.99. We're gonna do it for $61 for 1961 Skrull's first appearance.
Skrull's first appearance in Fantastic Four #2.
All right, what is the book behind Captain America? I don't know, Tom Bishop, but let me look. Where's Captain America? Those are the Dynamite versions. So we'll do those. We'll do those next. Let's do those right now. All right, there we go.
Let's do them right now.
Let's do it, because with Nick's added books, it's going to be a long Rex cap. All right, here we go. So these are the last three that we haven't seen. Red Sonja, Hell Sonja #2, limited edition virgin cover by Rebecca Puebla. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40. All right. So then we have Vampirella Mind Warp #5, limited edition virgin cover by Joseph Michael Linzer. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40.
Great cover. Nice collars.
Nice collars. All right. And this one we have at a great price. Red Sonja, Hell Sonja #2, FOC bonus incentive UV cover, virgin cover by Lee Ricks Lee, a 1-in-10 ratio. Suggested retail of $50, and we have it for $19.73 for the first appearance of Red Sonja.
Nice.
All right. Why does it say subversive? Where does it say that? Or Rubenstein? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about.
Me neither. But that just makes it Monday. For me anyway. So yeah. We were I don't think your emojis came over, buddy. Kenneth Bird. Oh yeah, it comes over on YouTube, but it's funny, it doesn't come over on the first
StreamYard. Yeah, it doesn't come over on StreamYard. We just get the eyes purple crying, eyes purple crying, eyes purple crying.
Yeah, but when you look on YouTube, I see what the emojis are. Where Rubenstein, the first one. Are you talking about the first Dynamite book where Rubenstein? I'm not sure, my friend. But yeah, so we were just talking about 80s movies. We'll do the Rex Cap in a couple minutes. There was some great stuff that came out. I mean, even Blade Runner was from that era.
Yep, Blade Runner, The Thing, a lot of great horror films like Fright Night and Return of the Living Dead, and I love the 80s. The 80s are probably one of my singular favorite decade. Now, I'm not saying that the movies made in the 80s are the best technically or whatever. I just mean that out of all of my favorite movies, a lot of them are 80s films. Whether it's action, sci-fi, horror, genre films exploded in the 80s.
And weird, Back to the Future, you're right. You know what it was? Clearly special effects were not back then what they are today. Okay. A lot of what we see on screen today was something that they did in a very manual way back then, whether it be Star Wars or whatever. But it was definitely an improvement over what we had seen in the 70s and certainly the 60s, right? Lars Van, correct. Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Goonies. It felt like, yeah, well, The Big Chill didn't have a lot of special effects there. It felt like the script, the screenplays were thought out, were well thought out, had a good original kind of storyline to it. You look at all of these, we just got done talking about Demolition Man, The Lost Boys, the Breakfast Club, all those John Hughes movies. But it just kind of felt like that they really fleshed out the screenplay and the storylines. You look at the stories of the movies that we've just been talking about. Demolition Man. What if everybody goes into suspended animation? Prison is no longer you're barred and you have to have a bunch of guards. You're put in suspended animation, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're going to try to rehabilitate you while you're in a coma. I think that's fun. That was a phenomenal kind of Judge Dredd even. Okay, came out of that era as well. And certainly I'm trying to think some of the others that came out during that era.
Wait, are you talking specifically of the early 90s now?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
whatever. I mean,
there's so many great movies from that era. So from that time, like, and there's so many of them. It's a shame that we forget things like Back to the Future. Bill and Ted is from that era, right?
Yeah.
A lot of great John Carpenter movies are from the era. Big Trouble in Little China, Christine, Starman. There was something about the 80s where technology was starting to catch up with imagination. And because of the rise of the home video market, movies were making money, like a lot of money, and they were making sustained money. It wasn't just about the opening few months now of the movie. It was about the VHS sales and stuff. And VHS prices were really high, and they were all making money to the point where like people were just throwing together movies over the weekend, and releasing them direct to video. So there was more leeway, I think, from the studios. So there was more like ownership, not ownership of the material, but ownership of what's being done. It is ownership of the material, but not on that scale. But there was more faith being placed in the writers and the directors. There were less cooks in the kitchen, I guess is a way to say it. Plus the rise of technology. We can do Ghostbusters now. We can do these Star Wars movies. We can do Indiana Jones. We can do these special effects. It's the rise of the special effects too. I mean, special effects have been existing since the beginning of film, but in the 80s, that era right before digital, that means that's the best practical effects really got. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff in that era, even like American Werewolf in London, the horror films, but then like the Star Trek films were great in the 80s, and like there's so much great genre fiction from the 80s because they were able to finally make it look a little bit realistic, but they also had a care for the property. And I don't think they took their audiences for granted, even though the audience was massive in the 80s. And that also led to it.
OUG, you joined us late. We actually talked about Over the Top. Love that movie. Short Circuit we didn't cover. But I think it was where Rubenstein, Marcus, everyone was footloose back then. I mentioned it. Yeah, I agree with you that today they're really depending on the CGI, less on the content of the story. And we've talked about it since it's most recent, but that's kind of where Black Adam went south. Obviously, you had the biggest among biggest stars. See you, Stevie B. Thanks, buddy. But you didn't really flesh out the storyline. There was so much you could have done, and they just kind of felt like a lot of these storylines were afterthoughts. Like, okay, we've got all this. We've got the big names. We've got the big budget. All right, anybody write a screenplay yet? No. So now let's slap something together.
Hold on. I got breaking news. I actually saw a movie before Amy.
What was it?
The Menu.
Well, that would kind of make sense.
Oh, I haven't
seen
I haven't seen that yet. I really want to see that.
You call it, the reason why he says
that's not in.
Look at this.
It's because it's not in Amy's wheelhouse, really.
Yeah. It's because I'm well rounded.
I hear it's amazing. Since we have Nick here, I just want to show this. Nick, this came in the mail yesterday. This is what I was influenced by you to buy.
Yes.
There we go. So
hold on. You show that one. Hold on.
You weren't here for this, Rex, but like Nick was.
I watched it. I watched the recording. How you guys kind of went off the rails at the end there.
Yeah.
All right. We got to show both copies.
All right. So now it's the Terrible Five Twins.
Exactly. Now it's number 1 and number 5. They never put out number 2, 3, or 4. And our boy Chris at Comic Tropes actually did a video on this.
Oh, wow. I got to check that out.
Yeah. It is such a terrible book. And look, what we talked about, they changed the color of the bat type character on the front. This is quite possibly in the top 10 worst comics of all time. So
now I got to get the one you have.
Yeah, I don't even know which number this one is.
I don't know which one this one is, but I got to get it. I got to get the other one.
All right. OUG, I've got to address this. The original Clash of the Titans I thought was awful. It had some of the worst special effects. I forget who the actor was, but he was just awful in the role.
In the remake?
Like the remake.
Okay. Who was it in the old days? It was like that soap opera guy, right?
He was super famous. He was on a TV series. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what his name was, but he was like he was on a
Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, Harry Hamlin.
There you go. He was brutally bad, dude. He was just horrendously bad. And the special effects were horrendously bad.
See, I don't like the new one, though. I really don't.
LA Law, that's right. Thank you, Marcus. I like the new one. I didn't say that the new one was greater or good, even good, but I liked it better than the original.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know. I like the original. Just
OBR, what's going on, man? Yes, thank you, Jay. The claymation. That's what it was.
I like that, though. I think that's charming. I think it has a charm to it.
It was not charming. The acting was horrendous. Okay.
You're the one that just said the new one was good. So whatever.
I said the new one was better. I didn't say it was good. I said it was better. There's a difference. But it was, and the storyline, I mean, come on, dude. It was, all they did was go back and read Greek mythology and then write a script for it. That was it.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to see, bruh.
No, we didn't want to see. I did not want to see the Kraken look like a Godzilla movie in black and white. Okay, which is and at least in the Godzilla movies they put somebody in the suit.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I get it, but I think that cheese has a charm to it. But you don't. I respect that. I understand.
Well, it may be.
You're the one that likes the Dune movie from the '80s. Okay, I'm just gonna say that
it was a good movie.
I'm not saying that wasn't. I'm gonna say it wasn't, but I'm gonna say that it was a valiant attempt.
Yeah, Jay, I saw that. It's cool, bro. We just slid right over it. So now that I realize we are counting down here. All right, I'm going to do the Rex Scat. All right, here we go. Everybody buckle up. All right, so Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. Suggested retail of $40 or higher. And as always, we have it for $5. Lars, man, I'm not sure how to answer that one. The black hole was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Preston, don't even go there, bro. I love the first Dune movie. Like the second one, too.
Don't get him started on it.
Don't get me started. All right. So then we had Invincible Iron Man #1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. It is a best offer book. Suggested retail $49.99 is a best offer book starting at $19.62. Lars Man is currently in the lead. Then we had Action Comics #1000, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens. It's the 2000s decade variant cover. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 9 of 25, signed in silver, and we have one available at $50. Then we did Batman 3 Jokers, #1 Red Hood variant, signed in silver by Jeff Johns. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we have the one available for $30, signed in silver. It is number 18 of 40. Then we had Wonder Woman number 0, signed in gold by Cliff Chang. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available, signed in gold, for $41. Then we had Heroes Reborn, Marvel Double Action #1, signed by Tim Seeley. Number 8 of only 22 signed, and we have the one available for $22. Then we had Captain America, the End, #1, signed in gold by Raza. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is number 1 of 15 signed in gold. And it is one of our 5-star at $50 books. Then we have Star Wars C-3PO #1, 4 connecting sketch cover set of Leia, Luke, Boba Fett by Geoffrey Gwynn and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $500, and we have the one set available of 4 for $149.95. Yeah, throw in hashtag ArtEXP, everyone. We're going to give something away. I don't even know what we're giving away yet. Hey, Amy.
Yeah?
do you mind grabbing me a giveaway?
Just find something.
Yeah. So Jay, we're just gonna make it hashtag ArtEXP.
And tonight we're giving away the Dynamic Forces Office stapler, is what we're doing.
And weird, it probably is one of the cheapest we've ever had. I don't even know what the giveaway is, but everybody watching, throw up hashtag ArtEXP all lowercase to enter the drawing. All right, totally forgot about that. That's on me. All right, so where did I leave off? Okay, so now we have X-Men Battle of the Atom #1, signed with cover sketch of the new Captain America, the Falcon Captain America, by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $99.99. We have the one available for $69 for the Falcon.
Here's the metal cover.
Thank you, Amy. So we have a metal cover. You know what issue it is? It's Barbarella. All right, Barbarella metal cover.
Later issues.
All right, Barbarella metal cover is the giveaway. Where Rupenstein. All right, fair enough. We'll find a way to work the Psylocke statue in there. All right, then we had Punchline, the Gotham game #1, CGC graded 9.8. It is a best offer item, and Lars Man is currently in the lead. Then we did Secret Invasions #1, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $99.99. And we have one available for $61. Then we did Red Sonja, Hell Sonja #2, limited edition virgin cover by Rebecca Puebla. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40. Then we had Vampirella Mind Warp #5, limited edition virgin cover by Joseph Michael Linsner. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40. Then we had Red Sonja, Hell Sonja #2, FOC bonus incentive ultraviolet cover, virgin cover, 1:10 ratio by Lyrix Lee. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $19.73. All right, and everybody, just a reminder, hashtag ArtEXP for the metal. This is the metal cover of Barbarella. I don't know which number it is, but that's our free giveaway of the night. And then here are 4 books, and they will go to, they are Silver Age, I think. And the proceeds will go to Fat Jack's. Tales of Suspense number 97. And you'll get them at Nick's prices, what he paid for them. That one's $50. Then we had Green Lantern number 40. And that's available for $60. Lars Man is at $50 for the Punchline OBR. And then we had Earth 2 number 19, and we have that for $100. So let me flash these real quick. And proceeds will be going to Fat Jack's. What Nick paid for them, so they'll get to pay twice on it. So
yeah, that's super awesome for Nick to do that, man.
Yeah. So this is Earth 2,
and that is the first appearance of Val Zod, who is the character that people were thinking Michael B. Jordan might be playing.
There you go. All right, so this is Tales of Suspense number 97. And this one's $50. And then Green Lantern number 40. Let's see, Origin of Infinite Earths and Origin of the Guardian. All right, and we have this one available for $60. Remember, all proceeds will be going to Fat Jacks to help them out. And then we have Tales of... Let's see. Oh, Thor number 126. And this one is $80. All right. All right. So there we go. And proceeds on the sale of these vintage comics will go to Fat Jacks.
All right. Best offers are closed now.
Best offers are closed. All right. Congratulations to Lars Man for picking up the best offers. Way to go, buddy. All right. Let's see here. I'm surprised nobody picked up the Falcon. That's a shocker. All right. So there we go. All righty. But all right. So we will be back on Wednesday with our buddy Alec, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, John will be feeling better. He'll be back with us. And then, of course, on Friday on PCP, Pop Culture Philosophers at noontime Eastern, will be the Robbie and Rex show and talking about whatever the topic of the day will be. And we still have 4 days for DC to do something that might be the topic of the day.
50% chance it's about DC again. We're just going to go ahead and throw that out.
Yeah. So if you see something in the news, we're probably going to talk about it. And then, of course, Nick will be on at 7 p.m. on The Experience with his original art show, as always. And I think we got a preview of one of the pieces that he will have on the show that night. And trying to think. And then, of course, tonight at 9, right? Eastern?
Yes, tonight at 9.
All right. Robbie will be doing his movie review show, and the movie of tonight is They Live, right?
That's right. John Carpenter's They Live.
With Roddy Piper. Oh, cool. Awesome. So the Rex Cap shirts will launch on Wednesday. Yay!
Nice.
All right. You'll have to send me one. I'll definitely wear that cap. Switch it up a little bit. But all right, so you know what? I guess it's time for us to spin the wheel, correct?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so here we go.
For the Barbarella metal cover, the winner.
Metal.
Okay,
congratulations, Kenneth Bird.
This is starting to get ridiculous, Kenneth. That luck is a little too much, man.
Can I ask a question just real quick? And I love Kenneth, and you well deserving. You can't multiply, like, no matter how many times you put it in there, you're only entered once, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
unless you have multiple YouTube accounts with the same name,
maybe Kenneth does. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, Kenneth.
We ran into this last night for the first time on the Fat Jack show, where somebody entered multiple times and had multiple accounts with the same name. So now I know to look for it.
Okay.
All right.
It's just
so
that lucky then, man. That's crazy.
All right. So hopefully, well, they if it launches on Wednesday, they won't be able to get me one. But hopefully I'll have a Rex cap fairly soon so I can wear the hashtag Rex cap and sweatshirt because it is winter here, guys. Before too long. But Nick, anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
I don't know. Do we have your permission to draw Savage Rex?
I don't mind. I couldn't care less.
Should we put Rex's face on the Savage Hulk cover?
All right,
they're already designed. I'll send you the proofs. I already got them drawn up. I'll send you the proofs tonight.
All right. Yeah, but no, I'm just saying putting my face on merch probably won't make it sell faster.
Right.
I'll buy one. I'll buy one. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
I'll buy one. I'll wear it on every show with you.
Virtual hug, buddy. Virtual hug.
We'll get one of two. One for Robbie, one for Rex's daughter.
Yeah, I guarantee you that will never be worn. Okay. All right.
Savage Rex.
If she spills something on the counter, she may use it to clean it up in lieu of paper towels. All right, but okay. What do we have? What do we have coming after the show? Remember, Robbie at 9 PCP 9 Eastern time reviewing They Live. Love that show. I love that movie rather.
And we got Wednesday. We got 9. We got it right now at 8:00. I think Jenna, and then at 9:00 we've got the call in with Kyle. And of course, if you want to watch Robbie's show, or you can watch both shows. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube.
You can.
So there you go.
You can watch both shows twice.
Exactly. And just hit that thumbs up while you're watching them.
Another movie from that era, My Blue Heaven.
Oh, the sequel to Goodfellas.
I love that movie.
It's the sequel to Goodfellas. You know that, right?
When he got caught with all those books. When he got caught with all those books, in case I want to read it more than once. Right. All right. Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.